Have you noticed, James, that disobedience has been on the rise within corporations? And
100%. It's in the last month. So, I mean, whistleblowing involves a crisis of conscience. They have to weigh their loyalty to the organization versus to the public interest. And I think that, with the story that we're going to talk about here tonight with these airline pilots, actually St. Clair, did you see that video this week?
Oh, yeah.
It was just like an explosion. It's just everything's sort of been festering and getting to this point, and it just blew open like this little sieve of pilots. I did a Spaces with her, and I would say about 70% of airline pilots are more conservative, and about 80 to 90% of the ticket agents are more liberal. So, these people inside the airlines, they're begging me to do something about it. Expose these buses are dropping people off. So it's remarkable. It's a remarkable scene. I mean, I was cornered in the airport by these airline workers. It was like the Samizdat, the Soviet Union. Don't I keep whispering. I don't want to be seen with you, but the buses are pulling up in 20 minutes. So that's a new phenomenon, and they could lose their jobs. And then one of the people has a husband, and she doesn't want her husband to know that she's talking to me. You know what I mean? These are incredible moments that I've never experienced before.
I think it has a lot to do with this growing realization, I suppose. It's very simple. When I've talked about for the past several years, if you keep your head down and keep your mouth shut and keep working for companies because your argument is, I have a family, I have children to feed. There's a lot of people who are like, Tim, you don't have kids, you don't understand how hard it is, I can't lose my job, how will my kids eat? The attitude, my attitude is like, you are absolutely correct. That does not change the fact you are standing with Satan.
Yeah, because not everyone can grow food. You can get a vertical little garden in your kitchen. But like, if you've known for a decade that you could get a vertical farm in your kitchen and grow a little bit of crops for your kids to eat, and you haven't done it yet, you might want to question your sanity.
Well, it's this. To all the people out there who say, I would not blow the whistle. I'm seeing, James is mentioning a lot of people are stepping forward. Now more people are coming forward. I think the point is they're realizing this point. And this point is, did you think and this is figurative or literal, depending on how you want to take it, if you're a person of faith or not, did you think the devil, when offering you a deal, would only offer you luxury instead of necessity? It's an absurd proposition. A deal with the devil isn't, how would you like an infinity pool and a golden statue of yourself? Because people don't care about those things. The deal with the devil is always, how would you like your children to have full bellies every night? Serve me on your knees, and I will make sure your children are fed.
Yeah.
And so I understand the terrifying nature of the Faustian deal. But so many people, when I heard this from Owen Schroyer about the prison guards, I'm like, those guards saying, I know your work, I like what you do, I'm just doing my job. What they are telling you is, I signed the devil's contract.
I think a lot of people, though, it's like Eric Metaxas and I were talking, it's like acid in your heart. And it's like, I need to keep my job. Well, Eric says, you can keep your job and go to hell. But my children, and again, I don't have children and I can't fully empathize, but I would say your children are going to respect you. You're going to respect you more if you do the right thing.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not sitting here to pretend that it's easy in any way. It's probably the hardest imaginable thing. Again, I don't have kids. I respect that. And your kids may not understand.
See, I think it's the hardest imaginable thing, but you're stronger having gone through it.
I think your kids will respect you when they're older and they fully understand the sacrifices made. I mean, when I look back at the founding fathers, we're talking about wealthy dudes who had literally no reason to revolt. No, hold on. Like, there's a lot of grievances they listed, but these were grievances as leaders, and they were upset about what was being done to their communities and the future for their children. When I say they had no reason, I'm saying these guys could have kissed the pinky ring of the king and been wealthy and wanted for nothing. But they saw that the crown was abusive. They saw that the regulars were abusive. They saw farmers being killed, and they said, we will not sit idly by. In our luxury and comfort, we will risk our sacred honor, our treasure, our blood, our families. And they did. And that is inspiration. That is respect.
Man, Ben Franklin lost basic. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, the thing is, they believed that there was a better option for their children. And so this argument of like, well, I have kids, I need to provide for them is completely reasonable. I understand that fear. On the other hand, if you are helping a company that is ultimately preaching a world that is destructive, what are you leaving for your children to grow up in?